tips and advice and all that stuff on money mindset as well, because like for me, like I've read like over like 200 books on like personal finance and all that stuff, right? It's like I've developed my skills ever since like the age of 19 and dealt with all this stuff.
Obviously we all need money.
Yeah.
It's essential to live.
Yeah.
In the world right now, a lot of people look down. It's funny, a lot of people look down on people with a lot of money.
Yeah.
Or if someone has like a nice car, they're like, oh, why does this guy like have to show off and
Yeah.
drive this nice car? Like he doesn't really need that.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we were talking about with that Sam guy today. It's like,
Yeah.
why is he showing off all this stuff?
Yeah.
You know, some people have that mindset, and I get it. You know, you don't really know someone's heart
Yeah.
until you meet them and like know them on a deep level.
Yeah.
So it's easy to judge, like we
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah.
But as far as money goes, money is value.
Yeah.
You know, it's a numerical way to measure value.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you're a more valuable person if you have more money. It
Yeah.
just means if you provide value,
Yeah.
then you should be getting an equal amount of money in return
Yeah.
for that value.
Yeah.
Like the Bible talks about like working hard and providing, you know,
Yeah.
like God wants us to work hard.
Yeah.
A lot of people use Christianity as a crutch to be like, oh, I love God, I want to serve people, I want to like
Yeah.
not focus on hard work, I just
Yeah.
want to like be nice to everybody.
Yeah.
And yes, obviously you have to have strong character and not be an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
But also, like God calls us to work hard and provide.
Exactly.
So it's like if we're not working hard and providing, like who are we in God's eyes?
Yeah.
We're just like sitting back. It's like
Yeah.
a spoiled kid.
Yeah.
It's like if a kid is like given all this stuff. We
Yeah.
talked about gratitude earlier.
Yeah.
Like given all this stuff and they're not grateful for it, they just sit back and
Yeah.
do whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like I'm a good kid, you know, I'm a nice kid, but I don't
Yeah.
want to work or like do anything.
Yeah.
It's like the parent's gonna want the best for their kid,
Yeah.
and the best for their kid is going to like make a name for themselves, make a
Yeah.
career, go like provide value to the world, whether
Yeah.
it be working for somebody or doing your own business. You know, like the world needs people to work for people,
Yeah.
but it also needs people to take initiative and try to build their own thing to
Yeah.
create jobs in the future.
Yeah.
So, as far as money goes, like money will come if you have a right game plan and you work hard.
Yeah.
But having that vision too
Yeah.
is important, like we said, because if you're just living a happy, jolly life
Yeah.
under God with all these blessings that He's given you, I don't think He's going to appreciate you as much in the world.
Yeah.
I guess if you're not trying to provide value to the world or work hard
Yeah.
to provide to other people around you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like in terms of like money, it's just an exchange of value, right? Like back then, like they didn't even have money. They didn't have like sheets of paper or like checkings account and all that stuff, right? Like they used it to trade
Yeah.
resources with one another, right? And I feel like it's just so interesting because, with money, I think the more the value that you provide, the more money that you're gonna get. Like I believe every human is valuable in of itself, but in terms like financially, like the more value that you provide in the world and the bigger problems that you solve in the world, the better, right?
Yeah,
that you're gonna get paid.
If your heart's in the right place,
Yeah.
and you have a lot of money, you're able
Yeah.
to make a bigger impact.
Yeah, it's like
Someone
it's like even thinking about like if you had the cure to cancer, like how big of a problem are you solving? Huge, bro. Instantly billionaire, instantly,
Yeah.
right? If you had the cure to cancer, right? But if you're solving like pretty small problems, then you're not gonna get paid as much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the bigger problems that you're able to solve for people, the more that you're gonna get paid. Also, getting a credit card and using that to get cash back, right?
Yeah.
Because whenever you sign up for a credit card, you're going to get a sign-up bonus. Let's say, for example, you do like the Chase Freedom, right? They're gonna tell you, hey, you gotta spend like $1,000 with us, within the first 3 months, and we'll give you, $100 or something like that, right? I don't know the numbers on top of my head, but if you do like the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you spend $3,000 and you get $500 back or something like that. But I think when it comes to credit cards, it can be a very, very valuable thing. And it's gonna really help you a lot grow, it's like your money a little bit more than just using a debit card.
Yeah,
right?
You gotta be disciplined with it.
You gotta be disciplined with it because you gotta pay it off on time so that you get the cash back and you get rewarded for using credit cards. But banks, are preying on your downfall. And I'm telling you right now, like banks are preying for your downfall and you not paying off on time so that they can charge you like 17% interest every single month or 25.99% interest on what you didn't pay on time. And it affects your credit score, and this affects you buying a car for cheaper. This affects you buying a house later on for cheaper, right? This is why it's so important to have an excellent credit score and paying off on time, right? Yeah, it is. It is. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. Crazy. Nice little sunset action right here.
It's blinding.
Yeah. Man, so nice. So I feel like this is like one tip and advice for anyone out there, right? Don't ever use a debit card. Don't use cash, bro. Don't use a debit card or cash. Like, you want to get like that 1 to 2% cash back. Certain credit cards have different options to get like 5 times back, doing buying like flights or gasoline or something like that. You want to kind of look into that as well to kind of like maximize your credit cards. And you can also use these points to travel to different countries and all this stuff. Have nicer, it's like positions on the airplane, right? Like for a lot cheaper, right? Because you're gonna get a lot of deals and bonuses and all this stuff as well. And this is gonna help by you using your credit card effectively, right? Because if you use cash or using a debit card, you're not getting that 1 to 2% back. You might not think 1 or 2% is that much, but over the lifespan of how much you're spending, that could be potentially a lot. Another thing that I believe too is you cannot let your money be sitting in your checkings and savings account other than your emergency fund, right? Like, you gotta have an emergency fund and you gotta have, it's like savings for a rainy day, right? But other than that, you should be deploying your money to be working for you, right? And I was telling like Mark earlier, right? It's like, even from Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? It's kind of like he talks about like money as like quote unquote little employees, right? You got to be able to deploy that. You got to invest that money into like the stock market, into your self-development, into coaches, into mentors, into real estate. It's like into things that are gonna help you grow and to get better, right? So I feel like if it's just sitting there in your checkings account, then you're basically losing 3% due to inflation. And every single year, if you keep on putting in your checkings account, then you're gonna get a little bit more poorer every single time. But you wanna think, it's like, how can I use $10 and to try to use that $10 to make $20? You know what I'm saying? To get those kind of returns. And I feel like, especially in terms of business-wise, it's so much better to invest into yourself, into your skills, and into your development as a coach, right? Because when you're able to do this, you're gonna get like 2x, your income, 3x your income, 4x your income, 5x, 10x, and so on, right? In which, like the stock market on average, if you invest into the S&P 500, you're gonna get 8% back, right? It's like, would you rather 2x your income or, like get 8% back on, your money? And this is why there's so much value in getting a business coach, because when you get a business coach, you're able to learn the skills on how to make 2K a month, 3K a month, 5K a month, 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month, bro. It's like, and so on, right? It's like, that's not even the end all be all. Like I've seen coaches do like 500K a month, $1 million a month. It's crazy stuff, bro, right? And I just think it's just like, when you invest into yourself, invest into your skills, invest into your business, like your returns are gonna be significantly way further than the stock market, Like, even when I first invested into my first mentor, I cashed out all of my Tesla stock. Like, I cashed out on all of it,
Nice.
you know, to pay for the coaching and mentorship, because I was like, okay, realistically, like, how much is this gonna go up versus if I invest in myself, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna invest into myself, and I'm gonna invest into my skills, because the more that I can increase my active income, the more that I can pour that active income back into myself, back into my business, back into mentorship, and also back into the stock market, right? Because as you know, in terms of the stock market, if you invest like 10,000, if you get the returns of 8%, you know, it's like realistically, like how much are you gonna increase that year? It's like 8% of 10,000. Let's just do 10%, right? Well, what is that? $100?
10%
Of 10% of 10,000.
of 10,000.
Yeah. Or like 10,000. 1,000? 1,000.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You just moved the
Yeah.
decimal one time. Yeah,
I'm Asian. How do I not know this? But it's kind of like, okay, like over a year, you made 1,000 that year, right? If you invested $10,000 into the stock market, right? 1,000. Imagine if you took that 10,000 and you invested into a business coach to help you make even $2,000 a month. You know, $2,000 a month over a span of a year is $24,000. Would you rather grow 1,000 or 24,000? And 2K a month is like that's so conservative, bro. Like, that's so conservative.
That's just 2K. I mean, that's one client on a page.
Exactly, right? It's just like, that's so conservative. Like, right now, like, I'm hitting like 30K months, bro. It's just like, but I didn't get here like right away, right? I'm not telling you guys that, but let's just go all the way back to the beginning, right? It's just like, even conservatively, like, you're making 2K a month. Would you rather make $24,000 extra and pay off, you know, it's like $10,000 worth of coaching, and you make the difference like $14,000, and you get the skills, you get the knowledge, you get the abilities, you know, it's like to keep on making progress faster in your life? Or would you rather make $1,000 keeping it in the stock market? You know, it's like, I think it's very clear, bro, right? And I feel like this was what shifted my mentality when I first started, because I was like, you know what? I learned about investing. I learned about stock market. I learned about this and that. And I was like, hey, I feel so smart. But, you know, it's like having a business coach challenged me, right? Because he's like, bro, like, if you grow your business and you grow your active income, you can, you know, it's like, learn the skills, have the knowledge, and then invest back into your business, invest it back into yourself, and also have more to invest into the stock market and other assets that's going to help you grow and to be financially better, right? And I feel like that's so important to understand. And, you know, it's like, if you implement this, bro, right, it's going to change your life so much for the better. And this is why I will continuously stand on the fact that having a business coach is going to help you grow so much in your life. Being able to develop your skills, your knowledge, you know, and improve upon this aspect to make more, right? It's crazy. It's like, even having a business coach take you from 0 to 2K a month, like, that'd be crazy. Having a business coach to help you from 2K a month to 5K a month, you know, it's like, it's crazy. Having a business coach helping you to get to 5 to 10 is crazy. And having a coach to help you from 10 to 20 is a crazy jump, right? So you just continuously keep on investing into yourself, right? Even to this day, bro, like, I'm investing in myself every single day, right? I have coaches and mentors still to this day, bro. It's like, I don't stop. I don't stop investing in myself, because there's another level, right? There's something that I don't know out there. There's somebody that has the information and knowledge that I don't know about, that I need to know about. So I gotta figure out that quicker, right? And one of the best ways is to have a coach and mentorship, because they're gonna reveal everything to you, right? That might not be revealed on a YouTube video, or be revealed, you know, in a podcast, or revealed in a book, right? You know, it's like, when you get close proximity, you know, it's like, to people, you're gonna be able to know exactly how they think, how they walk, how they talk, and what strategies they're doing, right? And when you're able to have that closer proximity, you're able to kind of like get influenced by that and have the proper strategies, the right mindset, and having the right game plan, right? And having the right ideas and perspectives in order for you to grow and get to that next level as well.
Like being a coach as well, and you're getting people to invest in you.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna see a different side of it too if you invest in a coach.
Yeah.
Whether it be a fitness coach or a business coach.
Yeah.
You know. Like obviously you definitely need a business coach.
Yeah.
When you start.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna realize that it's like really valuable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But being on the receiving end of coaching, I think, is essential if you want to be on the giving side of coaching.
Yeah.
And like we're talking about money,
Yeah.
like you gotta pay to play.
Bro, that's it.
That's what
You
I
gotta pay to
realized.
play, bro.
You definitely have to pay to play because if you're not paying to play, there's other people who are paying to play. It's like you're in a
Bro.
video game,
Yes.
and there's people buying these coins, you
Yeah.
know, or buying these strategies
Yeah.
to win the game.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing let's just say Madden football,
Yeah.
right? And you have all these players who are like 50 overalls,
Yeah.
and you're playing against a team who bought a bunch of coins to buy players who are 99 overall.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose that game every single time.
It's an
because
unfair
they're-
advantage,
it's
bro.
An unfair advantage. It's gonna put you ahead of other people who are failing a lot,
Yeah.
right? And they're trying to figure out a strategy. And they keep finding different strategies from different YouTubers and different coaches online.
Yeah.
But if you have one source of information,
Yeah.
then you're gonna be more confident because they're like, okay, I'm just running this play. I'm not running a bunch of different plays.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
So paying to play, I think, is a huge step.
That's
you
it,
know?
bro.
And if you can find a way to do it,
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna thank yourself.
Yeah. Paying to play is everything, bro. Like, you hit it on the head with that one. You know, I was about to mention that too. It's like, you gotta pay to play. You know, it's like when you think about video games, like, think about Candy Crush, right? Like, the guy that's playing video games, you know, it's like,
Always gonna
they
be
don't have
that.
extra lives, bro. But if you pay extra money, you pay $1 to get that extra life, you know, like, you're gonna go further and further and further, right? Like, you have to pay to play. You cannot be cheap. You cannot be cheap investing into yourself, right?
Yeah.
You are your best investment at the end of the day, right? And you need to be continuously investing in yourself, investing into your skills, investing into your abilities every single day so that you can improve, and to improve your earning potential, to improve upon your skills so that you can get better, to build your business better, to build your own character better, right? Like a game that I used to play like on the regular was RuneScape. So when I first started as a beginner, I was wearing bronze armor. But as I ranked up, as I spent more money, I upgraded to iron. And you go from iron to steel, and then you go to like from steel to, you know, mithril, and then you go from mithril to like adamant, and then you go to, you know, it's like rune afterwards, right? Like some of you guys might not understand what I'm talking to, but there's just levels to it. And then after rune, you go to like dragon armor. And then next thing you know, you're walking around with dragon armor, and all of these guys give you a different sort of respect,
Yeah.
right? They're like, whoa, this guy been putting in that work, right? He's been grinding. He's been developing his skills. He's been putting in hours and hours and hours of work to get this, right? And it's the same thing with life too, you know? That's why it's kind of like, as you keep on upgrading your character in real life, you just continuously grow, right? And this is what I tell people all the time, man. You know, it's like for me, I used to be a huge gamer, but I stopped gaming like online, but I started actually gaming in real life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do have an online business, right? So I just made my online business into a game, and it rewards you,
That's a transfer, yeah.
right?
Dude,
It rewards you.
You can think about that with your fitness too.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I tell some of my clients. I've made content on that. It's like you're progressing in the gym, you know?
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I got so involved in fitness and now business, is it's because I was such a big video gamer.
Yeah.
I was like playing Call of Duty, and I'm like, how do I get these skins on these
Yeah.
guns? How do I get, like, keep leveling up my playing ranking?
Yeah.
You know? But how do I transfer that into real life?
Yeah.
You know, where I can actually use my upgrades to enhance other people's lives and provide for my family other than ranking up in a video game.
Exactly.
So I think it's just using the same mindset in your video game and putting it into your life, in your fitness, and your finances.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was playing Madden, you know, I was playing against guys who were like way better with better teams and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I asked my dad, I'm like, hey Dad, can I borrow like $50 to buy this new pack with better players so I could start winning more?
Yeah.
And so I would get it for a present, you know? So it's like, you don't have to do it on your own too. Like there's people around you who can support you and help you in your financial things. Like if you want to improve yourself, improve your business, improve your fitness, be like, what do I want for my birthday? I want like a couple $100 to invest into myself. You know,
exactly.
Self-improvement.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's huge.
I actually talked to my dad about that when I first invested in my first mentorship. Yeah. Because he saw me like starting my business and stuff.
Yeah.
And I kind of beat him to it because he was thinking about doing that for my birthday, like buy me a course or a coach or something. Yeah. You know? So too bad I should have waited. But.
Yeah.
But I also had more skin in the game because it was my own hard-earned money.
Yeah.
But point is, like, you always have help around you.
For sure.
To spend on yourself.
It's always about being resourceful. You know, I feel like that's one big principle that I live by as well. It's like you don't want to have a fixed mindset where, let's say like a coaching program is $10,000, right? You just want to think, you know, it's like not like, oh, I can't afford the $10,000, but it's like, how can I afford this $10,000 and to have a growth mindset with that, right? It's just like, can you take a loan? Can you ask a friend? Can you ask a family member? Can you work a side job to earn extra income so that you can afford it, right? It's like when you see a good opportunity, you gotta take action on that. You guys gotta use a credit card to get that cash back, all right?
American Express.
You gotta use a credit card to get the cash back.
Woo! Gotta use your friend's credit card.
Wait, what'd you say?
Gotta use your friend's credit card to buy gas. That's how you save
money. That's how you save money. That's how you save money. Alright, Charlotte, so we just finished up getting gas and we're driving to Five Guys, right?
Five Guys.
Yeah, Five Guys. So we're about to head to Five Guys. But yeah, going back to being resourceful, it's kind of like, let's say like you're presented with an opportunity to kind of like you know, like a friend sold you like a Lamborghini, you know, it's like for 50% off, and all of a sudden you get a brand new Lamborghini for, you know, it's like 100K, you know, when it's worth, let's say like 200K or even like more, like 400K. Like there's so much value in that, because even if you resold it, you can make like 300 something K and, you know, like profit, right? And let's say now you have to come up with 100K to buy that car. It's like, how would you go about doing it, right? You would ask your friends, you would ask your family members, you would ask, you know, it's like everyone around you for financial support. You'll take out a loan, right, to get that because you see that this is a good opportunity, right? The same way, you know, it's like I view that in terms of business coaching, right, or just fitness coaching, or just anything of that sort, because when you're investing into yourself, that investment is gonna grow like so much, right, if you put in the work towards it, you know, like if you put in the work towards it, right? So you just gotta be resourceful at the end of the day to come up with the finances. Like, don't have the mindset where it's like, oh, I can't afford it, but it's more so like, bro, like there's so much value in here, like how can I afford it? Because when you actually are able to make it happen, you're gonna grow significantly faster than the person that doesn't have the coaching, right?
Yeah. And when you're at that level, you think about like a drug addict, like they're gonna do whatever it takes to get that drug.
Exactly.
So it's like, how bad do you actually want it?
Yeah. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to succeed in your business? How bad do you want to succeed with your fitness, right? And kind of like even like that drug addict too. It's like they want it so bad, they're willing to make anything happen. They're willing to sit on the sides, ask for money so that they can buy drugs. Maybe you gotta do the same thing, but not for drugs. You got to do the same thing and apply it to your business. Because when you get the skills, you gain the knowledge, you get better as a person, right? And gain all this wisdom, you're going to be able to grow significantly faster than the person, you know, that doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah, obviously within your morals, I don't go stealing out.
Yeah, yeah. Do it within your morals.
Yeah, drug people can get kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
same principle applies. Same principle applies. Do whatever it takes type of mentality. Because when you have the do whatever it takes mentality, you're gonna make a way. Like, very similar for me. You gotta do it in order for you to be successful. And this is like the principle that I've always applied in my life, and it continuously keeps on working.
You gotta find a way.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes down to how bad you want it, you know? Because it's like, you gotta be honest with yourself too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the distractions in life will like distract you from what you really want.
Yeah.
And then you have to have that like come to Jesus moment to be like, what do I want in my life?
Exactly.
That's why it's, like you said, important to do your vision a lot.
Exactly.
More consistently.
It all goes back to the vision.
Yeah.
Because if you don't want to grow your business, then it's like, then, you know, like, why would you hire a business
like
coach?
A lot of people are on autopilot.
Yeah.
And they're just comfortable where they're at. Like, oh, like I'm used to this income. I'm used to this life, you know?
Yeah.
And that's okay, you know?
Yeah.
If you want to live that life,
yeah.
Cool.
Everyone's
But
different.
if you want to improve and, like, keep progressing, if you have that desire in you,
Yeah.
then you got to make a change, right?
Yeah.
Use your money to your advantage.
Yeah. And I feel like it just comes back to the vision. It's like, where do you want to be? Like, for me, you know, my vision is bigger than what I'm doing already right now, right? It's like, my vision isn't even, let's say, like, in terms of, like, financial, but it's about the impact. But I also do put a financial number, so I know, you know, it's like what I'm working towards.
Yeah.
You know, it helps you solidify, like, a number goal, right? And when you have a certain number goal, like, let's say this is like 10K a month, right? If you have that goal, it's like, what do I need to get there, right? You got to make things happen. And when you have that vision in yourself, it's like, man, like, can I get to 10K? You know, it's like, and you have that belief, you have the knowledge, and you have the game plan, you're willing to work hard for it, this and that, right? Then you know, it's like, what actions and what things you need to do. Like, do I need a coach? Do I need to work harder? Do I need to implement the strategy more? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? You're gonna get so much more clear on what you need to do, right? And if your goal is to make 50K a month, it's like, okay, now it's kind of like maybe the strategies that got you to, you know, it's like your 20K, 30K, and so on, you know, might not work, because now you might need to have to build a team, right? It's just different problems. But this is kind of like the stuff that, you know, elevates you, right? And this is the stuff that you got to start thinking about now. You just solve different problems, right? At the end of the day, at the next level.
Yeah, I think about with school too, people will pay so much money to go to school, then they graduate and it's like they don't know what to do,
Yeah.
you know, with their degree, or like they waste it, but they use a lot of money that they could have used for something else. Like for my school, you know, I still have like $20,000 in debt,
Yeah.
you know, that I need to pay off.
Yeah.
It's like I'll be paying that for a while, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like people will pay so much to just fall into what everybody else is doing, just fall into debt.
Yeah.
Like, I get college if you're going there to like be a doctor, or like you have a clear vision on how you're gonna do it after.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of times, like me, honestly, I went for football, you know, and for the college experience.
Yeah.
And it was good long term for business because I met so many people.
Yeah.
And a lot of my clients, I would say probably 50% of my clients have been people I knew in college.
Yeah.
You know, because I met so many people,
Yeah.
I built so many relationships, built so much trust with everybody.
Yeah.
That it was like, we graduated and then people started to reach out like, oh, you do coaching? Like,
Yeah.
And then I had them on social media, the relationships were fresh.
Yeah.
You know, but still, like school, it's like you spend so much money on school.
Yeah.
And then you could have used that for skills that you could use for a business, where you can have more time, instead of just falling to go to school, get a job, work the same job for the rest of your life, where you're working for somebody else. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know? Like, I see the value in that. But if you're somebody who wants to build a business and have more free time, more of your own income, it's like, you got to see where you're spending your money, because that's where your life is going to go.
Absolutely. You know, it all depends on what you want out of life. Like, if you want to work corporate for the rest of your life, you know, then so be it. Cool. You know, it's like, that's cool. You know, like, no one's pushing you and, you know, nudging you to do anything.
I mean, the same concepts apply if you're working for somebody else. Because if you're good at what you do, you're going to get moved up. You know, and same with business. If you're good at what you do, you're going to scale. And move up. So sometimes working for somebody else is easier. Because
it's way easier.
You don't have the stress of being like, oh, if I don't show up today. Or if I don't like, there's a lot more responsibility and self motivation you have to have if you have your own business and you're running your own thing. Whereas an employee, it's like, okay, I just get up, go to work, do my job, get paid.
You already have structure. You have a boss and manager to be like, hey, you need to do this project, you got to do this task. If you don't do it, you're fired. Right? But like, when you have your own business, it's kind of like, you're not gonna fire your own self. You know, it's like, realistically, it's like, sometimes you get in your own way. You don't set up the proper tasks, you don't set up the proper projects for yourself to do, and then you end up not doing anything, and you waste time, you're not intentional, and then next thing you know, it's like, your business ain't doing that great, right? So sometimes we can get in our own ways in terms of our business, because we might not have anyone to be like, hey, do this task, do that task, right? So I feel like, even for myself, you know, in business, you know, like, you guys can also take this advice too. This is like, set up a time with yourself, right? Set up a time with yourself to go over your roadblocks, your bottlenecks, what you're struggling with, and where you ideally want to be. And when you give yourself this structure, when you give yourself these tasks and these projects to do, and you actually sit down and be intentional with your business, you're gonna be like, okay, I gotta focus on this task, and this task. I gotta, you know, it's like, not do the other ones because it's not urgent and it's not important and it's not gonna move my needle, or like move the needle forward in the business as much, right? So setting a proper time even for yourself, you know, it's like, whether it's for business or for fitness, right? Just setting up a proper meeting for yourself, you know, as the CEO and as the boss, right, is so important for your growth.
And if you think about it, if you have a mentor, or like you're part of a group, like, you get the best of both worlds. Because you have the accountability from a boss, which is your mentor. Plus you have structure, which your mentor gives you. And then but you're still running your own thing. You know?
And it's better because when you have a mentor and a coach, they are ahead of you and they give you a different game plan and puts you on a better path than you would on your own path, if that makes sense. Right. So we're about to get some Five Guys and let's eat, because we hungry.
Very hungry.
Let's go. Five Guys.
2 guys and 5 guys. 2 burgers.
Let's go.